Yeah, I'm wondering, maybe I should go live with Kick as well. It is set up. Oh well, first I'll see what's actually working. And that isn't it. I suppose technically I'm live already. I'm just used to being live and then lurking indefinitely prior to things starting.
24/7.
I should at least promote this my own Discord server. After all, presumably someone there might actually want to see it. Maybe. Should I be streaming to Trova as well? I suppose it's just a matter of setting up as an additional stream. Well, in any case, if anyone is watching who's new, wants to know how they can support me, just let me know. I need to find out what demand there is for it. I suppose I should be streaming to Kick as well. Now I've created the account for it, but quite frankly, I feel like I'm overthinking it too much. But yet, I can't stop. Since it'll be the first time streaming on Kick, I just thought it might be better to ambush them with the experiment rather than just me arbitrarily playing a very surreal, very Chinese game. but a very cozy game, especially when you do your best to ignore the pacing that the devs had in mind and run your own server with everything multiplied by 3 to 5 in your favor. And as I think I might demonstrate for the stream ends, that's still not going to save me. Personally, anyway. I need to set this up to where I can see things a bit more strongly. There we go. A bit awkward. I'm now watching my game from 2 screens of my phone. It's a bit excessive. I'll be upfront about that. But it's acceptable. And as expected, there's no high demand here. I probably shouldn't run this on the YouTube channel in hindsight. Although someone else is watching on YouTube. Obviously people are. Don't try and watching myself. Okay. Well, for those of you just arriving, welcome to Soul Maps. Actually, should I bother explaining it to you all watching right now, or would it perhaps make more sense to wait a bit? For people actually asking to know what it's about. Well, one thing I might want to do with public record is kill the final great beast of the game. Haven, if you started watching at any point, pipe up for you to join in. I'll bring you in call if you want to. Comment and join in this mammoth kill. After that, I'm basically just going to go beat up some people called plunderers who seem to be significantly smarter than the rest of these rock. Well, now that they work for me, they're much nicer. But I should note that all the NPCs in this game are a bunch of rock-banging dipshits, worshipping giant monsters, and spending the rest of their time assaulting each other to kidnap people to sacrifice to giant monsters. They aren't very likable, but they clean up nicely, as you might notice from these hula-skirted fellows and asses. I still gotta find the green hula skirt for the male NPCs. And I can use it myself, but I just now got a halfway decent look. I look like a rejected Batman villain. But it's still so much better than most of the kit in this. If anyone knows Grums, they should let him know that this game has nothing but midriffs. Belly buttons everywhere. In fact, it's hard to avoid it. When you max out a mask and take the super special form of it, in this case the Torch of Eternity, belly button. Go through all the trouble of putting together an outfit that doesn't show belly button, then when you're in this ostensible stupid god mode, belly button. Also feathers. Feathers everywhere. I'm starting to get a figurative allergy to feathers from this. It's still worth it though, because this game is beautiful. Let me give you an example. Oh, also, gliding is a thing. Really helps one to enjoy some of the greater beauty in the game. If anyone is in chat thus far, no chat has actually made it to my eyes. If you're new here, and we haven't spoken before, please know, I'm open to talk. I'm not going to yell at you for breaking my concentration, even if you do, and it kills me. Why? Because the failure is in my ability to focus. Also, it's a game, and I try to take as little seriously as I absolutely have to. Because there's a lot that really should be taken seriously that never meaningfully is. You know, showing off the view is going to be a bit harder during a foggy night. Maybe the view from Olympus Tower is better. Whee! Fall damage is extremely deadly, but not when you have the glider open. That's a little better. Ooh, that's a beautiful sunset. I think I'm going to try to get a screen cap of that. Or sunrise, rather. Something for the scrapbook. Oh, right. Olympus Tower isn't complete. Why bad? When it gets done, it might look halfway decent. But clearly, we're not there yet. I think I need to bully those plunderers for heat mods because apparently, even wearing a full set of something that's supposed to reduce heat damage considerably, going down here and inside the volcano is certain death. Even with my ridiculously generous settings, and what I believe is probably one of the most naturally immortal tribesmen ever to figuratively draw breath in the game. Got my tequila, got my premium jerky. It's time to butcher some scavengers. Background music has been provided by Radio Hyrule, which should not result in any manner of strikes, given that it's remixed game music. Or tribute music. I'm going to cut off the ridiculous toes of the frog armor set. I'd cut him off in game. If there's a mod for that, I haven't seen it yet. Down we go, or maybe not so much, because... well, down we go. Not so bad. Up until we get to some bosses, you're probably not going to see much challenge. So if you're wanting to watch some pulse-pounding, deep Souls-like death circle combat, you're SOL. I could get one of those fights, but only on the map. Because there are fights in this game that are not easily won. Even on the thing I'm tinkering with. Heatproof mod 2. Let's use that immediately. Ooh, and it has asbestos, which is used to make heatproof mod 2s. That is fantastic. One of these major perks of the build I've put together here is that bleed is broken for this character. If they cut and start bleeding, it actually makes them healthier. We won't be needing that armor. The server can already produce better armor. Ooh, execution time. Stop. Die. I said die. Honestly, I'm a bit sad you can't recruit these guys. Apparently it's due to the fact that half of them are wearing super special masks, so they've basically been brainwashed by the same tribal powers that be. The stream may self-destruct because I feel arbitrarily bad about just randomly streaming a game. I don't quite understood the idea. Cool things down. Oh, each attack adds to the heat proof. Interesting. Maybe I've been forgetting about that. I'll test it there in a bit. Don't see you sniping a plundery to work them out too well, but yeah, why not a starting move? Oh, they're trying to poison me. That's cute. I'm pretty much immune to poison at present. I shall play this for the next 2 hours and 15 minutes. And then shut down. I'm quite excited for seeing whether or not I've finally figured out how to explore the volcano area safely. Really nice. And these heat mods too. I should probably get heat mods 3. I think those come off the elites. Since this game is in early access, and continues to be, there are certain problems in the game, namely, half of the mobs in certain dungeons spawn just underneath the map. But as they're murderous little shits trying to kill you, it's mostly laughable, save where their very presence prevents you from opening a chest. And if that should happen with some critical boss, and it has before, I have taken liberty figuring out how to fix it, although I probably won't stream as it requires resetting the server. If you're wanting to play on this server, too bad. This is the Arcador Labs Volunteer Reserve Discord server. Accessible game through these very special invitation. Oh, never mind. One of the things that perpetually frustrates me with this game is all the lore where they're taking gods seriously. And the very mechanics of the game stress that there are no real gods here. Just some incredibly insecure, technically advanced aliens, technologically advanced aliens, who are constantly flexing themselves to someone, I guess. I don't really quite understand who. The insecurity is a bit peculiar. Execution! If you have been watching me in previous streams, you may notice that I am in fact not on camera. At least, not on a camera that you can see the result of directly. The reason for this is because I didn't wanna. There's something a bit more stressful about being on camera directly, and I'm going to be doing that tomorrow anyway. at the slight cost of looking a bit like a Parkinson's patient. No, greetings in chat. Happy October to you as well. And you give me too much credit. Many people do, except for those who don't give me any credit at all. They give me too little credit. I deserve some credit, just not that much. I haven't done all that much bespoke work here. The videos you've seen me present, or that have been put to use on SideQuest. Now that required learning some new tricks. This owes more to savvy shopping, maybe? Especially since it was overall quite cheap, as it has to be, given that my budget is yay big. A bit exaggerated due to the cartoonist features of the VTuber avatar. In any case, glad to see you. Are you familiar with the game's Soul Mask, Eric Pug? Because if you are, you're a guy I'd totally let on the server. Unlike most of the people who aren't even watching. Who also don't know the game and don't play it either. We've got a few names you might remember on server, but not often on. Not that I'm disappointed in any capacity. People have things to do. I'm starting to realize that a lot of things I'm anxious about haven't been my problem. Ever. Like, I was never really at any risk of having the delusion that anyone has to watch all my stuff or else they clearly don't like me. I'm kind of wondering, who was that person I got the idea from? I wonder if I have the good fortune to get a legendary mechanical steel weapon that I actually use. So I quite like the style of mechanical steel weapons. If there's anything disappointing about them, it's the fact that there's no actual mechanical component. Pickle tank, by the way. It's a canister of human crap you can throw at your opponents, and who, as it happens, will throw it at you. It causes a constant morale drain, and if your morale gets low enough, you'll be so depressed, all of your stamina just goes away, and you'll just have to hobble in a given direction. Oh, if you like the spear stabbiness, I should definitely show off the gauntlets next. First, I must scan for chests. That's the chief reason I'm here. No Man's Sky is legendary. I will say nothing ill about No Man's Sky. Honestly, if developers could learn from that developer, we'd have a lot more legendary games. I do love No Man's Sky, don't get me wrong. As a concept, I thought I would enjoy it a lot more. I think my problem is that there's not enough life to the universe, and everything is too clearly generated. This, by the way, I would stress, doesn't mean you shouldn't like it. In fact, I wish everyone enjoyed No Man's Sky as well as it deserved. I just don't personally feel I have the time, and it doesn't really engage me. The lore text referring to things that don't happen in-game ever, that are the same across multiple planets. Does always chafe me. Yes, and while I'm glad the dev eventually got multiplayer in there, I didn't necessarily want multiplayer myself. Yeah, you all screwed up. If I bleed, I heal. No, I hardly, again, endorse No Man's Sky. And it's a heartwarming story, the game, No Man's Sky. Because as we know, where it is not where it started. That jump slam attack, I don't know if a player can ever actually use it. That is a legendary quality mechanical. Now I'm going to try using it for the first time, just to see if I get any really cool skills to go with it. It's doubtful, but it's also kind of fun to use. And dual blades go out of their way to look cool. It's probably one of the reasons I avoid them. It's just a little too implausibly choppy. Oh, one of the things I don't like about No Man's Sky, and as a person who plays No Man's Sky more regularly, Eric Pug, maybe you could help me out with this. Are there proper planets that have been thoroughly developed by any of the major races in No Man's Sky? It's like, you encounter the chunky barbarian alien race, you encounter the former evil tyrant overlords merchant lizard race, and you encounter my favorite, the synthetic, each one a legion of small programs race. And you hear all about the technological development in societies, but you only see large identical space stations for each. It would seem that there really should be planets full of them doing their thing. That's one of the things that kind of bug me. Greetings in chat, Nutty Rodent. I'm sad to report this will not be a stream I'm making an effort to make particularly exciting. Okay, good excuse, Nutty Rodent, but do they have like a no explorers rule to visiting their internal? Yeah, the settlements are a bunch of buildings, and they're very small. You can't really see them building any of the giant ships that you are constantly seeing and probably own in the game yourself. I don't know about GTA 5, but someplace with a bit more life to it. We have another one who's buried in the world. Let's see if I can stab him through the world. Yes, I can! Sucks for you! Consider this a mercy. Yep, No Man's Sky, I've tried to get back into it a few times. I know a lot of people are into it still. I had my fun with it. I got the Arcalab's Complaint Department, a Sentinel-class destroyer, and, well, here's where I think I burnt out. It started to feel like I was treading water. Because while, yes, the planets are all different, and a lot of skins are strikingly different from other skins, it was still largely reskinning. Nothing really changed, especially for what was supposed to be a dissolving simulation universe with a real-world lifetime remaining of around 6 minutes. But slowed down because the dying supercomputer was so super, it was doing it all so fast that the game, well, basically, it ultimately lasts as long as the game remains popular to anyone at all. I would like to stress that I also relate heavily to the dev overthinking the fuck out of it that bad. There was no need to get that metaphysical with it. Nope. To be fair, this game is also very metaphysical. The reality I'm playing around in is seemingly almost self-aware that it is a simulation too. That's fine. Ish. Never mind, where was I going with this? You're watching an electronic musician in Spain. He was playing it while jamming on a stream. And I just tried, okay, it's timeline. Nothing like a simulation simulating its own simulator. Yes, which, for all we know, could be our reality. If so, well, we're clearly running on a much better system, so I'll take that as a plus. When it comes to jamming, I recently came into possession of the most humble iteration of the automaton. And gads, I love that little thing. I'm not going to play it on stream until I think I can actually play it to any reasonable level. The automaton Lux. What with this access to having an output plugin so I could perhaps put it into the stream directly, as opposed to playing it out loud. It has been years, prior to this, since I had even heard of the automaton. And honestly, if I succeed in finally mastering an instrument and it's the automaton, I'm going to crowdsource getting the automaton Jumbo, which, if you didn't know, is an automaton, but guitar-sized, with the sound to match. It's also over 2K, and that's way out of my budget. That's not happening otherwise. But egads, I love them. Doomsday. The earth trembles, the sky weeps, darkness consumes the firmament. For doomsday is here! Only the gods wield the power to destroy the world, which is probably one of the reasons they did it, because they're incredibly insecure, apparently. So they just needed to prove that they could. I refuse to take this text seriously, and this is one of the things that chafed me in No Man's Sky as well. All of the random text logs you found were low-effort creepypasta and had no relevance to the game in any way, shape, or form. And that's one thing that really chafed me, because some of those creepypastas were not quite so low-effort, had some pretty good concepts, like a planet that was entirely hostile, dissolving slime. Yeah, you never see that in game, though. Surviving on a planet that is basically a gel slime that got out of hand. That's pretty intriguing. I suppose it revolves around the question of what doesn't it eat. Again, it's not the game. The AI in music channels has kind of opened up a niche for music performed by humans, appreciate it, but not everyone. But everyone should, and they will eventually, because here's the thing. As AI music becomes increasingly popular, people will become increasingly bored with it, and they'll find reasons to prefer other things, even if the AI music is itself transcendent. Maybe they'll realize no human hand was involved in its creation. Which, by the way, right now is not true. Someone's making transcendental AI music. Well, they're still presenting the idea, they're fine-tuning the results, they're rejecting the failures. There's a human hand there. It will not compete, I think in the long run, with someone who wants to hear what the best of humanity can do. I'll give you an example. And thank you for bringing this up. This is a fine tangent from the game I'm playing. Consider all of humanity's history of machinery. We've got machines that can lift weights the most powerful heavy lifter in the world will not lift. No one meaningfully wants to watch the machine lift 15 tons. Because it's still the machine. Yes, it's nice someone made the machine that could lift 15 tons, but it's the machine lifting 15 tons, not a person. Ergo, it's infinitely more interesting to see a human being compete with the machine, even if the machine will still win. I think when it comes to arts and music, this will be true as well. You don't see machine weightlifting competitions very often, do you? I have yet to see Machine Olympics take off. Yeah, sure they will. But if you're looking at it that way, there are some people who will watch abso-fucking-lutely anything, including me. Although, I would like to think I'm competitive with most hydraulic presses. Not for pressing, of course. That's not happening. I'm not irrational. As a bit of a tangent, I feel like going off on a pet peeve of mine. A pet peeve I know so well that it gave me a bit of a psychosis when I realized it was eventually going to happen to me with certain people. Perhaps you're aware there are some people who play a game to a certain point, and then, having played a game to a certain point, have become bored of the game. But for reasons that are never properly defined by them, I imagine. They only stop playing not because they've gotten bored of the game, but because the game is now bad. The game in question might not have changed at all. But they're bored with it, which would be fair enough if they could face that fact, but they can't. So instead, they need to find a reason to now hate the game as being bad now. That pisses me off. Not relevant to anything, mind you, as I said. An almost entirely arbitrary tangent, but nevertheless, pisses me off. I suppose it ties to a certain insecurity I have that people will eventually get bored of me, and I know they eventually will. That's fine. I have realized in recent years, however, that people probably doing that kind of suck, one, and two, I'm pretty sure I actually have some hope here, that I can remain entertaining, at least up until I die. The rest of you, it's going to be a bit trickier, because I'm pretty sure in some cases I'm going to die first. Which I fully embrace. The pursuit of immortality has struck me as one of the greatest call signs of complete idiots.
Embark on an epic adventure filled with devilish action puzzles in the Legend of Zelda Spirit Tracks.
Eric Pug, I don't know who the hell you're talking about, but isn't you. Oh right, I've got to try and make use of the fancy new legendary mechanical dual blades I got. Who, if they do work out pretty well, I'll probably hand off to Next Hunter next time he's on. Not that I should really, because I designed this entire server to skip a lot of the busy work and grind. But there's a balance here. You can't do too much. You can't give everyone everything. It just makes things, well, boring. So it's important not to even seem to do too much for one. Oh no, I've been executed, but I'm perfectly fine. You two, on the other hand, are newly screwed. Is this the limit of my proficiency skill? No. Have I learned any skills worth actually using? Also, no. Yes. That is perhaps the ideal. The precise balancing is hard, but I don't like creative mode. The server is not being run in creative mode. Everything I've gotten was not given by command. So I suppose it's important to try to avoid the idea of anyone else being in creative mode. Maybe my failure here is that I have not been enough of a dick. Yes, rather than inviting the other players on the server to join my tribe, the Arketeers, which I still cringe the name at, maybe I should have told them, I've got my base, stay the fuck away from it, it's all mine. It's not very me though, is it? Dual blade. That 90%. It's not great sword tier, it's not spear tier, it's not bow tier, but it's still usable tier. Only, if I'm going to carry multiple weapons around, they need to do different damages. I've got something that removes resilience, I've got something that removes stamina, and I've got things that just do straight up damage. My conclusion is these things are largely useless. Wait a second, Spectral Blade. Grant status. Gains additional crit rate during the period. Doubles the bleed points for all kills and inflicts double bleed effect. Okay, I stand corrected. This just became useful. Wow, I lucked out in copying this random tribesman who I recruited in the first 10 minutes of the game. %1 damage immunity with spectral protection, stack up to 20 times. 20% damage immunity. Okay, this just became really useful. We're going straight up with damage. Oh, it's gonna be fun testing this. Stuns end, and they're going to be some. By the way, this game loves to punish the player, so if this was default rules, I would have died several times over. You are all going to die. It's alright. You weren't doing any value. Doubles bleeding stacks. That's the critical thing. You doubt the critical damage was the issue here. No, it's the bleeding. Why? Because this particular tribesman that I copied over my own data they heal when they bleed. They also heal when anyone else bleeds. Can I get this person to the ground? This is why I love Spear, because if they were a little bit higher, I could. Unfortunately for me, that's not going to happen. But I might still get the loot. Not to brag too much, but this isn't even my final form. I haven't had to use the mask's special yet. Although, I'm not sure I want to be putting myself in a situation where I have to demonstrate it. If I do go down, I will. Demonstrate it, that is. Also go down, but not die, as it happens, because, well, the mask I'm using is really good at not letting me die. In fact, it's so good at letting them die that I found myself in some circumstances in danger of being stuck in a limbo where I will just get up and then die, and then get up and then die. Or feign death, as they call it. I have to say, this character is bizarre, rare. They had some excellent default stats, and apparently, well, as you can see, not one, but 3 different God tier skills. Backstab is fun when it kills. Counter lifesteal is the means by which I've defeated bosses that shouldn't be even within reach without another 3 months of grinding. And now this, which I think is going to be the absolute bane of any mortal threat in the game here on out. Well, biological. I mean, everything's digital. Most things here just don't know it. And ergo can be persuaded to bleed. The robots, on the other hand, don't bleed. Pause bleeding, yes. Bleed themselves? No, not really. If you have any questions or thoughts in the chat, please don't hesitate. No, I remember that puzzle's being much trickier. Maybe I'm in the zone. One would want to know. Very rodent. For my part, where it pertains to electric sheep, I just know that while I was a bit cheated by Blade Runner in a lot of ways, it inspired so much awesomeness. See, what is this? Oh, I get all the way... And I'm going to be thwarted from this chest because this dickbag saw fit... I'm sorry, I've been very sexist here. Clearly not a dick bag. Well, hold on. Maybe I've been wrong about dick bags being uniformly male. I mean, strictly speaking, she could... Okay, well, this clam bag is not within reach, and I can't do anything about that. Or rather, I could, but I'd have to restart this out. Well, fortunately for me, this is not the reason I was hunting here. But I'm going to be haunted by the fact I can't get that. Sucks to be me on that. Sucks to be them even more, and, you know, there's that. Wow, the mechanical steel blades with a mechanical steel shield is awfully pretty. Yeah, take off the bow for a bit just to see how much prettier it gets. Okay, now the spear is ruining the aesthetic. I'm not willing to part with the spear. I didn't get all the loot I wanted, very rodent. But I got the loot I came for. And that's good enough, especially when you consider that there really is no upper limit to the loot I want. Greetings in chat. Okay, sure. This is just me showing off Soul Mask. Quite frankly, if you've been watching my Discord server, you could see me do this several days now. But we're doing so as a group, so it's more social. Funner. As for item sets, I'm making use of one right now. a lot of the armor in this game does not have set bonuses. In this case, this does. This is advanced frog leather armor, and as silly as it looks, I find it less silly than, well, pretty much all the other armor in the game thus far. The full set of Claw Tribe and Fang Tribe winter gear would be desirable, but requires constantly raiding those camps and then brainwashing their craftsmen in the hopes you might finally learn how to unlock that particular outfit. And that is fiddly and grindy in ways that my tweaks the server can't fix. That said, set stats, poison proof 20%, stamina down defense 25%, 4 pieces, max load 4 pieces, max resilience 75 with 6 pieces, and what I got it for, heat proof 30 with 6 pieces. And all that running around, I only came at it with heatproof mod 2s. Well, I only had heatproof mod 1s to start with, so maybe I shouldn't whinge. Plus,
User Happy Souls Tober. Eric Pug is impressed with your VTuber tech and is diving into No Man's Sky, enjoying its post-launch evolution. There's a chat about in music channels, and Nerdy Rodent mentions they haven't played NMS in years. There's also a mention of crit builds and some friendly banter about items and game mechanics. K. Shull just joined the chat, greeting Eric Pug.
Thank you, 58. If I hadn't kept on top of the chat, you would have totally set me on the right track. And it is sincerely appreciated. Actually, this set isn't perfect, because even with the complete, and this is not just the regular frog armor, but the advanced frog armor, which I had to freeze to death twice over just to get, still doesn't allow me to survive in the volcano. Now, the heatproof mod pieces I just picked up and applied and the ice blocks I just got might just do it. Might. But time to head back to base and stow things. Well, this is my humble base, the first one made on the server because it's my server and I was working on this before anyone knew it existed. First castle. This game allows you to build your own preferred base wherever you damn well want for the most part, although it's finicky about building too close to portals in certain places of interest. And I can't seem to disable that, else I would have. The various NPCs you see running around are my tribesmen and haven hands for the most part. I don't know if Manic, Grey, or, well, anyone else actually did so. Possum is havens, for example. As is Moose. The rest of mine are probably working on the inside. Treacherous Biff here is a max tier armor smith. I named them that because they have a negative trait that if for any reason they cease to like me and betray the tribe, they will take 2 other people with them. And then I'll be sad. Cheetah might be mine? I can't remember at this point. I haven't maxed out the tribe, but if this should seem odd, I did double the allowable members of one's personal tribe. Tribesmen can be set to do work, and they will do a lot of things they would otherwise have to do yourself. So, most of them are busy at pretty much all times. Oh, actually, I'm gonna keep that ice. And that's exactly it, Eric Pug. The employment of these particular NPCs and being able to set them to do the busy work that you wisely don't want to do is a bit of a game changer. And since they do have their own routines and, as you can clearly see, enjoy relaxing and loafing about whenever not at work, provided they're adequately fed and watered, it just feels a lot more alive. I haven't really seen this in any other game. There's also a wide variety of pets, mountable pets, and others. I'll show you the recent acquisition, the one that is mostly just a flex. The utility of it is not here, but potential. He even has seen fit to basically build something of a zoo behind First Castle. And the present star, besides Sharon Osbourne and Emu Boy, and Mini Cooper, is this, Ella, our resident giant elephant mount, which, if we get the right saddle for it, will allow us to basically build a small mobile murder hut on its back, complete with beds for capturing and recruiting new tribesmen, and more importantly, ballistas. There are not domestic pigs, but there are boars, okay, sure. And greetings in chat, okay, sure. Oh, I got a chest injury. Nothing stasis, dissipation, soup, and fix. Ooh, and I recently learned that stasis, dissipation, soup might be the secret to not dying in the volcano area, which I've yet to adequately explore because I've yet to figure out how to stop dying in the volcano area. Or have I? Between station dissipation soup and these ice blocks and the tier 2 heat mods I just got, maybe there's hope. We can find that out next. Oh, you get a buff for sitting in a sufficiently lavish home area. And as Haven has made a point of mounting the heads of everything she's killed, that apparently is very, very lavish. Now I do believe Haven is about to join the game. We'll know in a moment. Hold on. First we must know, is Haven wearing a mask? Because if she's not wearing a mask, and some of the tribesmen is, okay, they're not wearing masks. Oh, wait, oh, they're going to join him then. So screw it, I'm going to find out if I can survive in the volcano place. I'm letting everyone know that they can join in on this stream and speak directly if they wish. Okay, fog frog set, carrying ice, stasis dissipation soup is active. All my armor is equipped with tier 2 anti-heat. Is the volcano still death? Let's find out. Haven is aware that we are streaming and will only be interfering with the stream through chat. That you won't see anyway because... Okay, that's still searing heat. Okay, well, the last ice cocoa made difference. Let's find out. The answer is no. Also, I realize only now I've inadvertently stolen my preferred axe. Okay, so with all of this, I can survive down here as long as I'm constantly using refined bandages. And stasis dissipation soup. This does not feel like a winning strategy to me. Now is not worth sparing that armadillo lizard. Let's see. I'm asking even if they want to join in killing. Want to kill the mammoth? Okay, well, Haven is being a good animal caretaker in a way that I probably would forget. This is probably one of the reasons why they're the ones taking care of animals, whereas I'm just doing well to not have my tribesmen die of starvation. Mostly because I kill a lot of people, take their food, and then stow it there. I only set one to farm because it was necessary to get cotton at some point. I barely understand that system. Or rather, I haven't had a system, but I could probably figure out rapidly if I had to. Fortunately, I have not had to. To explain this typing, Haven asked if we should use the safety mask. This would be the torch returning mask, the same one that I am presently modeling. And if she uses a bow, she probably won't need to, because with my safety mask in this present kit, along with my unusually quality tribesman, she should be just fine. Also, I want to get the explosion mask, which is the one that stops pretending to be tribal, and I'm hoping, accordingly, has less feathers. Oh. I've invited Haven to take all materials for all tiers of man that she wants to try killing. This is important because it keeps me from having to fuck around with it. I can repair these first. I need to put a bleeding mod on these tool blades immediately. The giant mammoth bleeds, and if it bleeds, I can kill it. And I've Gauntlet Mastery, but this is so much better. Oh well. Bows. Where did my steel bow go? Seriously, where did I misplace my steel bow? I must have accidentally stored it. I didn't accidentally discard it, did I? Well, there's a solution to this. Have a tribesman make a new one. Once on this job. Do I want a steel bow or a steel longbow? Steel longbow. It's ugly. Ugly. Yeah, no, damn it. There we go, Blunt. Chop, chop. Actually, more steel arrows while at it. Getting the highest tier of equipment in the game revolves around basically making your tribesmen make the cool shit for you. But in order for them to make the cool shit for you, you do have to manage their development. In my case, I have ensured they make the finest steel items possible. Yeah, put that to the fists. This will hurt me in the future if I don't remember to keep corrosion tanks on me. Fist weapons do deal a lot more damage to those. Some compensation for them not bleeding, I presume. Okay. But one problem I have with the double blades is that your character runs like this, and it's got Naruto run vibes so strong, I cringed to my very bone. Oops, I forgot to recharge the mask. Easily fixed. And with tier 2 anti-freezing mods and everything I'm wearing presently, this should not. Still cold, really. I guess I'll use some hot cocoa then. My dislike has been triggered at being mildly cold. I guess I'll have to drink tequila. And remind myself that I'm carrying a stone tool. Although my morale is quite low, I probably should have gotten some rest. Ah, well. It's not critically low. Yet. If I'm not mistaken, to justify the existence of the cooking system beyond more than just getting buffs of food for yourself, most of these summons require some exotic dishes. Not cold at all. Handy. Even in making enough materials to summon the first 2 tiers of the giant mammoth, She views this as being a bit hopeful. I feel reasonably confident, especially with these new, very murdery dual blades. And of course, my own, well, admirably durable build. I just wish it was less vampiric in nature. Because my hatred of vampires is more eternal than they are. Mostly because they're such a synonym for malignant narcissists. Well, I didn't know that at the time. Parasitic, arrogant, immortal, but mostly given to whinge about it. Fortunately for us all, malignant narcissists are not, in fact, immortal. The best a man can get, indeed. I don't imagine they would, though. And they're wasting their time. It's a Chinese company. Like they care. Don't mind me, just adjusting chat to mostly address personal peeves. There we go. It looks less weird now. Still pretty weird, but less weird. You know what, I'm going to take out the first mammoth using just this. If it proves a near fight, or if I go down once, then I will switch to the even more survivable form. I really hope I don't need to. I have a little over an hour remaining on to do this. I'm going to seize this from idle moment. No worry. Havens let me know that going to be a bit. I blame the crafting system, not them. No worries. I have about an hour remaining. And I do. If you'll pardon me for a moment, though, I am going to step aside and seemingly stare at you awkwardly for the entire duration. This won't take long. Greetings in chat. Meanwhile, Mongoose. This is indeed Soul Mask. The game I've actually had for a very long time, played a few times, then had to set aside because it was somehow too depressing to do entirely solo. But then, one Manic, you might have been there when this happened, threw enough money at me for me to launch my own server, which is, well, you're on the Arcade Labs Voluntary Reserve Discord server, Meanwhile, Mongoose. It's the reason I made that Soul Mask channel, where I've posted several screen grabs thus far. I'm waiting for Haven to show up so that we can kill a giant mammoth and make our avatars slightly better in the process. Then maybe slay the giant mammoth, or other iterations of it, including bigger meter ones, over and over again, so that we can wear its corpse remains as better gear. Oh, there's new news on the front. Let me perhaps reiterate what Soul Mask is about. Let's see. Once I've finished making the fried tacos, I just need the psychedelic pot and the pumpkin salad. Psychedelic pot. I didn't know there was a psychedelic pot in this game. We're good to go. Oh, my bad. I don't have the points to unlock the other recipes, so let's just go for the basic one today. I should have waited at base to unlock the missing. Oh well. So we'll just be butchering the default giant mammoth as many times as is necessary.
A scene on the lid of a sleeper's eye. Awake the dreamer, and Koholint will vanish, much like a bubble on a needle. Cast away. You should know the truth.
Asking me to eat hot cocoa, not just because hot cocoa is delicious, and it is. I'd say Missy recently found a whey protein powder that did not have significantly additional sugar that I've been adding to my coffee, and it turns my coffee into hot cocoa, near as I can tell, if perhaps only because I don't remember what hot cocoa proper tastes like anymore. A good horror game to play during Halloween. Well, Haven and I would probably immediately say Phasmophobia. Yes, tastes like chocolate is surely true. That's going to be part of it inevitably. It's a long time since I had hot chocolate. Rather sugary, you see. But in any case, Haven's arrived. It's time to butcher a mammoth. Excuse me, Repo is kind of horror. More comedy than horror, but it can be spooky. People get scared by it. Whether they should or not. Okay, this mammoth is going down. As long as it doesn't butcher Haven while I'm butchering it. Why am I suddenly extreme cold? Oh, this is bad. Extreme cold. Okay, this took a turn. Is it the weather or did the mammoth do this itself? Okay. It's time to get dickish. It's probably good that we didn't have materials to get the other Titan Man. Well, massive. I'm gonna get morale back for you this again. We can fix this. And then we're gonna butcher this damn thing again. Terrifier, the arcade game demo on Steam. Okay. Five Nights at Freddy's is almost entirely cat scares. I don't think it's particularly spooky as far as that goes. I have the Cabin Inspector game, I just dawns me that I haven't actually played it. That's a horror game. You know, I think of next week I'll make some time to play Cabin Simulator as a stream, full run horror game. I think that might lead to some approval. I'm curious about the arcade demo. Not now. Still, thank you, K-Shol, for being around to provide some good horror game recommendations. If you're looking for a social environment thing, I could be convinced to play Phasmophobia. It's been a while. Halloween event is still underway. Mind you, I'm a bit annoyed with the devs. They've just added grind to the game as far as I can tell. They haven't deepened the gameplay at all. Near as I can tell, you still can only annoy the ghosts. Vaguely annoy the ghosts. And then grind a bunch of details out and then leave, and yes, you get money, but you typically pay with your life, which, worth a bit more than the $20 you get for the 50th picture of ghost anus excretion on a doorknob. I want to pack the ghosts away into a small box, Ghostbusters style. Remember there's a VR Ghostbusters game, I think. I'm actually not sure about that. If there were, that might compel me to finally break out the VR kit again. Yeah. You risk your life in a clearly haunted ghost house where quite possibly many people have died prior, including the ghosts themselves. And you get enough money to buy a fancy new camera to take more detailed photos of ghost rectal excretions on a doorknob. It made more fun when the entire idea might have actually been that all the ghost investigators were in fact cracked out junkies using the excuse of ghosts to loot houses, only occasionally overdosing mid-raid, and more accurately dying to that. Maybe I should have streamed this to Kick as well. Oh well, too late now. Okay. Yep, I have to say, Mina Mongoose, this is the first I've heard of Gleaner Heights, but I do hope it's meeting your expectations. I bet the dual blades would have worked to kill last time if I had been in maximum mask mode.
User Hey, Director Arcater. Here's a rundown of the chat. 1. Eric Pug thinks the game, Soul Mask, has a Conan-like vibe and loves the twin blades design. 2. K_Shull is into Halloween, decorating with orange lights without mishap. 3. Mina the Wild Mongoose is seeking horror game suggestions for Halloween and is interested in games like Fatal Frame and Silent Hill. 4. K_Shull suggested Terrifier, the arcade game demo, on Steam as a horror option. 5. Mina the Wild Mongoose is revisiting Gleaner Heights and exploring new DLC content. Overall, the community is engaging in festive spirit and game recommendations.
Thank you, 58, but bulleted lists continue to fill me with rage! Well, number lists in this case. Nevertheless, it's just far, 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 far too paperworky. But here we are. Gleaner could have someone who harvests lateral crops during needy. Oh, neat. I question the relevance. I should have made a steel butchering knife already. Oh well, so long as the iron works. I shall get enough of what I need. Even where I'm gonna wonder where they came from because they glided in so nicely. This game is a Souls game. No, it is not a Souls game. It is Soul Mask. But if you do see fit to play it, meanwhile, Mongoose, you are welcome to join the Unterland, my personal Soul Mask server. Where you can get to the game without capitulating to the mindless excessive Chinese grind. Also, green chili cheese enchilada sounds fantastic, and I thoroughly appreciate your appreciation for Halloween, as do I. I needed more of it with months out. Knockdown seems to me? This little shit is charging out of its combat area. Garbage. Great sword reigns supreme despite the promise of being movable. Die, you piece of shit. Okay, now we perfect her avatars just a little bit more. Yes, I think the Flintstones might have lied to us as to how wildlife at the time might have been. Personal upgrade time. I get to be first because Haven chose to put the chest instead. This prestige is trivial. Just letting Haven know we have mysterious crystals for second repair at base. Yes, that is the problem, Meatball Mongoose. This is why I was pretty shameless in twisting the server to skip as much grind as possible, because if there's one thing games don't do nearly well enough, it's respect your time. Devs want most players to spend all their time playing the game. But we've all got shit to do. Like, I'm sure they're very happy they've managed to convince a whole bunch of humanity to spend hours and hours playing their game. It's not very considerate of the players, is it? It's not very considerate of me, anyway. We got 49 minutes remaining. Now, the problem with stealth genres is because they waste your time on the short term. I can't remember what I was planning this evening, but I didn't count on Haven being here to do it. Now that Haven is here, I'm getting some ideas. We should probably butcher more fog frogs of doom. I kind of mind playing stealth games on occasion, but they're hard to take seriously. Having the option to play stealth is much better. By the way, you know, if one wanted to play this game in stealth mode, there is an option to do so. You know, I never got around to playing. The Mortuary Assistant. I could have played that game, but I raffled it off instead. That's fine. I felt obligated to do so. I understand it's actually quite good, though. I'm trying to remember who won the game. But I'm afraid I know who it is. I hope I'm wrong though, because I hate them. If I am wrong, then whoever I'm wrong about I don't hate, so that'd be so much better. If you want mortar resistant, and you're watching this, you're not them, so I'm just wrong, and almost will. Or close enough. Mysterious crystal isn't an other, really. Yes, it's not. I will take this moment to reiterate my love of Radio Hyrule, which is providing music you may or may not be barely hearing right now. I have a lot of good feels tied up to the Legend of Zelda series. Up until Majora's Mask, because I didn't meaningfully play any after that. I'm in full concurrence, Meal on Mongoose. Majora's Mask. Well, it's kind of a valid stopping point, really. Given the lore of the Zelda franchise, it might objectively be. You know, I find that kind of funny, because my first experience with Legend of Zelda series was, of course, the first game. A Link to the Past is the first I beat. I had no patience whatsoever for Legend of Zelda 2, the switch from top-down to side-scrolling. Everything about that felt wrong. The Ocarina of Time was excellent. But I was kind of chafed immensely by the ending. They did not do good by Link at all. That he should wind up in the setting of Majora's Mask doesn't surprise me. That game, though, just golden. Oh yes, I Link's Awakening I see as basically being a corollary to Majora's Mask. Dampened slightly by the nature of the game and the plot. Which it might share with Majora's Mask, but that's for game grognards to cannibalize each other over, not me. Two of two. One of two. David has pointed out that the trophy makes a fine perch, which is great. I need to find a source for Jade to finish the pyramid upgrades. And what do we need for the mammoth do? Because I'm not sure if I did learn mammoth armor, but I'll find out now. I haven't gotten credit for killing the Berserk Mammoth, so clearly I could get a lower tier still. I think we have a chance of killing it. I feel like I'm feeling in real time, but I have to say I'm really enjoying this context where I'm not directly uncanny. It makes a huge difference. Actually, yes, because the reality location of the games is questionable with, Coral Island being a dream to Windfish, and Termina. Yeah, I prefer Termina to Hyrule overall. Besides, because, quite frankly, I have no particular love of Princess Zelda and the Kingdom of Hyrule. Ganondorf might suck more, but they kinda suck, too. Like, one observes, for example, that the Kingdom of the Zoras apparently dissolves by the time of A Link to the Past, and presumably the Ocarina of Time predates A Link to the Past, which means that the Zoras became largely mindless fireball-spitting assholes in the water, and the Gorons, became mindless little shits that pretend to be stone, then run, hurt you, and then pretend to be stone again. Mind you, the Kingdom of Hyrule seems to have shrunk dramatically as well, and is shitty in its own right, easily conquered by one mind-controlling wizard, for example. But, yeah, I kind of wonder, did they bring on themselves some degree? I too have never played Elden Ring. I didn't realize there was a chat bug. Oh, right. Can't really see the chat. I should articulate this. Okay, well, to bring you up to chat, on the chat, our problem here is that I'm a unobservant, forgetful douchebag who did not address Haven's complaints about the bug that affects chat if one tries to chat while simultaneously sleeping. Unless the bug in chat that happens when one tries to chat while sleeping is hold on. 1 second, please. Yeah, and Nintendo did Zelda dirty in Breath of the Wild. I hated her so much in that game. She was such a whiny little bitch that's like, I can take care of myself, oh save me, Leak. You know, here's why I think feminism went wrong. Because, quite frankly, there's nothing fucking wrong with being rescued. Yes, if you can rescue yourself, that's great. But if you can't and someone else does it, there is no sane reason to be upset. Ocarina of Time did a better job here, because, well, Zelda was bouncing around and doing just fine, but overextended herself, got captured, and then saved her. And in process, the kingdom. There's nothing wrong with saving. There's nothing wrong with being saved. One should strive not to need to be saved. But if one is striving hard not to need to be saved, and still needs to be saved, they should be especially fucking grateful that anyone saves them, whoever the fuck they are. I'm not sure Witcher 3 is very horrorish, but they did the Netflix series is. But in this sort of metaphysical way that doesn't make for a great movie, yet horrifies me. Okay, I should be near about immune to poison. Also because I took it on myself to go ahead and make the full frog leather armor. And if you're looking at this the first time, you might observe my armor is really fucking silly. I do look like a rejected Flash villain. But so much better than the alternatives thus far regardless. The one thing that really chafes are those stupid fucking toes. Okay, moving on. Yes, especially when you're royalty and conscious and stuff. Screw being royalty needing bodyguard. You think you quite characters when he goes to aerobics class. What aerobics class? Down in the pool. For the terminally fat or elderly who need gravity to reduce that much to actually make those moves. The comedy value is rich, you know. Even to me, because I do hate that guy. It was a quibble. I thought I would chafe him on, call him Arcturus too. Fog Frog. I suppose I should say, I do hate Arcturus' offense. But, while hate is a strong word, it has its limits. There are people, many people, many people, actual people, in this life, I hate much more.
User Hey, Director Arcater. Here's what's happening. 1. Eric Pug shared a fun fact about Gleaner, which intrigued Mina the Wild Mongoose. 2. Mina the Wild Mongoose hasn't played Souls games yet and is interested in trying Elden Ring and Baldur's Gate 3. 3. Eric Pug recommended The Mortuary Assistant demo for a quick scare. 4. Mina the Wild Mongoose loves Zelda, especially Majora's Mask, and shared some thoughts on the series. 5. There's a playful discussion about Zelda's character in Breath of the Wild. 6. Eric Pug suggested The Witcher 3 Inches as a good horror-ish game for Mina. Engaging chat with gaming insights and recommendations.
Please never use numbered lists again, Bridget. And given the fact that I tend to forget a lot of stuff I really shouldn't, I suppose I would best not throw that psychedelic pot. That is the thing. Okay then. I would like to stress, by the way. No, right, it was nice of you, you know, you can go ahead and go. Well, of course you can. Like, how the hell am I going to force you to be here? And if I could force you to be here, what are the fucking odds I would? I'm very disappointed with the advanced prog armor set. Okay, well, I'll just get by. I'm sad to report. I'm losing confidence with alarming regularity. I've overdone this. I'm capable of recalibration though. This isn't going to be that bad. Well, in any case, I should definitely go and put Big Blade in my preferred armor. After all, he has to be there to re-equip my preferred avatar. Big Blade is a charming fellow, though, as far as NPCs go. Another one of my first recruits. Sheer chance. He doesn't have much going for him, but he got the same greatsword skill that has proven pretty much undefeatable. And the game tried to screw me over. Why not equip the incorrect skill? We've lost half of the chat, near as I can tell. Please, I would like to know who is actually there. Oh, I need a murderer bot in Twitch. That's annoying. the stripe was so close. Ah, thank you, Pug and Keisha. This frog is going to really piss me off. Haven has successfully killed Frog. Okay, now I have to share some unfortunate discoveries with him. I have to inform Haven that I made the advanced Fog Frog armor set that promised a significant heat reduction. Then I added tier 2 heat resist mobs to every piece of that armor. And then I learned I could reduce the heat damage further with iced cocoa. And carrying around ice. And then... oh, that still was not enough. No. Oh, sure he knows. Okay, ice cubes, not 5 stacks. Odds I've used have actually complicated that just a touch. But I use the correct entrance. How did I lose my main avatar? Oh well, I'll look at that later. Following some past, my original avatar is here and insensate, of course. This game chafes makes this big noise about the gods and avatars of the gods and wearing the mask makes you after the god, but the reason it chafes is because the overall message seems to be that you are the god. Or gods. It's filleting. Not in a good way. I believe the term applied here is smoke up the ass. I don't like it. I've never had much room for flattery. Because 9 times out of 10, any flattery received is manipulation. Like, adulation for thinking I get right. That's great. And I suppose I need to be able to accept it. That's its own challenge. It is easier to reject false flattery than it is to accept genuine recognition. Mostly because it's so much harder to tell which is which. False flattery is pretty easy. Genuine recognition? For an overthinker, that is really, really hard. Well done, Big Blade. You've earned your keep, I suppose, because I don't have been doing any tribal work whatsoever at this point. We're going to conquer this game, Haven and I. Whether or not anyone else joins in or not. And that'll be great. In the meanwhile, I think I'm going to focus on getting the Explorer mask because it's the mask that clearly doesn't seem to be playing along with the rest of this bullshit tribal fuckery. Let me show you what it looks like. I don't have it yet, so I can't show you overall, but you can see just from the very face of it this mask right here is clearly not trying to be this mask, 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 or the DLC, my otherwise favorite, recruitment, this mask. Also, this mask, I think, was largely installed just for Chinese pride and also to give nods and winks to the game's only real serious mod developer. It's not a bad mask, for the record. Highly recommend getting it if you play the game. I want to know what the ultimate form of this mask looks like, because in its unrepentant synthetic nature, it's far more honest. This, by the way, is why I prefer a 58 that is grey skinned with black eyes and glowing green irises, because none of that happens with humans, and I prefer the honesty. Created by humanity, not humanity itself. Pretty reasonable. Oh, and as some of you might have observed, my time is up. I hope you've enjoyed this gaming stream, as I can only see two of you. Thank you for watching Eric Pug and K Show. Until next time, so long as progress continues, success is inevitable. Ostensibly.